Welcome to Tent Talk, the podcast with Nancy McCready, where we talk about life under the big tent of God's presence and the provoking process of discipleship. Here we go.
Hey everybody, welcome to Tent Talk. This is Nancy McCready. I don't need a ride. I need ammunition. This is the quote from the Ukrainian president over these last few days. My friends, we need leaders, sons, who are ready to stay on course, stay in their assignment, to understand the nuance of real, true discernment that can only come out of the life of Jesus Christ. Everything human has limits, my friends. We've got to be discipling into the true life of Christ inside of His sons. Take a listen. This could turn into a series of episodes. I'm not sure just yet. But take a listen to today and be invigorated as the sons of God for this hour of history. Love you all. All right, so I want to provoke you in your thinking today. So it's great to be with you guys. Thanks for being a part of Tent Talk. What do you do when you've resolved in yourself that you know you're not looking for an escape any longer? You know you're not looking for a ride out. Your heart is set and resolved to go forward with God, whatever the case may be. And yet others pull up to the house and honk for you to come out because they're used to you taking a ride. They're used to you looking for an escape, and maybe they're your partner in escape. And so there's just a familiarity and there's a comfort level that when certain friends or certain family members, come riding in, if you will, on your old patterns, they're used to relating to you in a certain way. And at certain times in your life, those were things that were just so awesome, so comforting, right? And so you've made a new decision. You're ready to, take up the ammunition and stay in the real fight of faith and go forward. But others may be offering you a way out because they just don't understand. I mean, what are you doing? What's going on? Come on, man. Let's keep running away. Let's keep, let's keep drinking. Let's keep eating. Let's keep telling ourselves, things that keep our old narrative going, excuses, denials. Maybe they just truly do not understand that this could possibly be God's plan for you. This happened with Jesus. We've talked previously about Jesus wasn't looking for a rescue. He was looking for a resurrection. He was looking for how he would actually stay with the Father and come through, and that he would finish his course. And yet he had a friend like Peter who was constantly saying, no, Jesus. No, I know what's supposed to happen. I have a plan. We're going to whip the Romans. We're going to do it this way. This is the way it's supposed to look. And Peter was constantly stepping into the path when Jesus had resolved in his heart to go with the Father no matter what. And Peter would just almost literally step across his path, put up his hand and say, no, Jesus, no, this isn't the way it's going to be. And eventually, now I want you to see this, if you're going to live the life of Jesus, all right, you got to let Jesus be real so you can be real. As Jesus would say, Peter, you are minding the things of man, not the things of God. You see, the resolve that Jesus had again and again in his life was to continue on with the Father in deep love and dependency with the Father. And so as he matured, there were opportunities for him to say that, not just to himself, but to his friends, to those who were on the same path, even though they didn't realize it at the time. They would follow him. And he told them, yes, you may actually follow me. And so Jesus was showing that there does come a moment when it appears as though it's just you and the Father. And even those closest to you do not understand what's happening, and you may not even have the words to be able to explain it, and that's okay. Because first and foremost, it's getting worked out inside of you and then through you. But Jesus literally had to say, Peter, that's not the way it's going to be. And Jesus had to be willing to continue on. And I've recently been reminded of this in my own life and in the lives of others as they are in that place of solitude with the Lord, and that place where no one else can make a decision for you and no one else should be making decisions for you. It's a part of your freedom and the exercise of your freedom to realize that it may just be the Father and I. And you recognize that within you there is something literally dying. And it may sound strange that as a Christian that you would grieve giving up sin, meaning giving up old ways of meeting your own needs independent from the Father. It doesn't mean you still want them. It means you just recognize they're passing. They're leaving because you are moving on with God. And there is a literal dying when the cross and the death side of the cross is literally being released inside of you. There is a death working in you so that life can be breaking forth in you. See, there's something simultaneously happening. And it is real. It is not theoretical. It is not imaginary. It is not just intellectual. When you have chosen to stay with the Father and to stay in that way of Christ himself, the very power of the cross is being released inside of you. And it's applying that tourniquet of death towards sin, towards self, towards flesh within. And simultaneously, the life side of the cross is releasing life to you, the new man, and you are moving on. And we need to understand this. So you may have decided, I don't need a ride. I'm living in the ammunition of the cross. The cross is providing for me the very weapons of my warfare that I, the new man, the real me, might continue on, because that is my true desire. I'm not doing this out of duty, obligation. I'm not forced to do it. I'm not trying to suppress, my true desire to sin so that I can, no, I really want to go with God. And though others around me may not understand my decisions, I don't even understand everything at the time, I'm staying with the Father. And He will make everything make sense, right? As we go. As I go, as you go with Him, there are certain things, my friends, you will never understand until you simply go with Him. And you may disappoint others. You may even miss opportunities, and later you'll realize, wow, I was a little bit into myself, and I could have really been able to be something to this other person who, though they were outside the house, and this is just an example, honking the horn, saying, hop in, let's go back into our old ways of escape, maybe because they're having a difficult time and they're reaching for the only thing they've ever known. And if you hop in the car with them and go back into those old ways, you could miss an opportunity to say, hey, I see your hurt and your pain. How about you hop in my car with me and let's just go to dinner instead of for drinks? How about we just have a time to visit over coffee? And maybe you could give them living water. If you're drinking from Him, maybe you'll be able to hand them that same cup in the way that God gives you. I want you to see, even though you may fail in the moment, you won't fail ultimately if you turn and go with the Father And then you'll have the opportunity to offer that same thing to those, that are needing Him. This is a part of when we realize we're not just in our own personal fight and struggle. We're in the real fight of faith, and I believe we're in a real fight for the future. Right? So I hope this encourages you today as we continue in, I don't need a ride. I need ammunition, and the ammunition, my friends, is the cross working, the death side and the life side, simultaneously working in you. This is not just about, I need to decide to behave. I don't need to be hanging out with old friends. I need to reject them. No, this is life coming to you as death is working in you. And Holy Spirit is the one who is releasing and applying the power of the cross as it is needed in the death side and the life side within you. Your dependency is upon the one whom the Father and Jesus have sent to you is Holy Spirit. So don't take old rides, my friend. Hop in with Holy Spirit and let Him teach you and instruct you and feed you and raise you just like He did Jesus. So stay in the ride with Holy Spirit today. All right? I love you all. Talk to you soon.
For more information on Nancy, please visit nancymccready.com or follow her on social media at NB McCready.